aged from 17 years to 35 years. So consider this, majority of the youth who are not even well educated, a greater percentage will always come between that 25% under unemployment issues, things to do with drugs, alcoholism, and also things to do with crime. And also, education, the definition of education is the process of impacting or acquiring general knowledge, developing power of reasoning and judgment. In that matter, it means that a person who is, let's say, educated, it means that the person will always be able to make the correct decision by their own selves as individuals. So let us start. Sir, you being a student, what are some of the factors that you think as students or the young people, what are some of the factors that affect education in regards to the youth?
Yeah, in our society right now, I think the youth are lacking a lot of role models, especially in the place where I'm from, in Changamwe, or Mombasa at large. I think that's why you're finding a lot of youth being unemployed, or a lack of motivation leads them to being in the streets, and they don't have examples, they don't know who to follow. So I think role models are very important, especially from the community.
Okay. So by saying that the role models are very important, do we look at an aspect of a family role model or a community role model or someone you look up to, maybe international or local, or maybe even in school at the education institutions?
We can, as you know, the community is a large population. And we have those people who educationally they can motivate guys, and we also have entertainers, and we also have like sports people. We can't say we are both meant to follow a certain path, but I believe if we had the best people to show us the way, it would have made things easier for the youth.
Definitely. And you know, we have been in a situation whereby the pandemic has really hit the whole world, right? Concerning COVID-19, what do you think are some of the things or in the aspect of education that COVID-19 has affected? Let's say as students, both to the students and also to the parents.
As an insider, observing as a student level, I can say a lot of youth weren't ready for the pandemic. And that has been very evident since you can see that most of the community schools, the government schools, they were not able to continue their online classes because of lack of education or lack of knowledge about it. But private schools eventually, you can't say 100%, but 50%, that's a very good number. And I think being prepared we were not prepared for the corona at all, and that's what cost us.
So through the pandemic, has there been any defects on the systematic arrangement of, let's say, the semesters that were planned before, maybe a semester after the other?
Yeah, for sure. Like, as I said in the beginning, I'm a student. I'm doing civil engineering at Technical University of Mombasa. And I can tell you for sure that we have been dragged our semester for like 2 semesters. We are 2 semesters behind right now. And it's really killing the system because they're trying to catch up and more students are still coming in the university. So you can see that it's affecting a lot of things.
So, and what do you think maybe the county government or the national government or even maybe the leaders in our education institutions can do, maybe at least to, you know, still make sure that the semesters go according to the plans?
Actually, right now, what I can say, the whole world is going toward the digital era, right? And if it would have been better if they raise awareness about the online stuff. And right now, when people are still in school, teach them how to do it, so we are not caught off guard how to be as before the corona pandemic. So spreading the knowledge, spreading awareness, even in primary schools, teaching, engaging the parents. We have the new system where the teachers engage the parents, right? So we can use the same system to try sneak in the digital prospect of it. That way, if everybody is able to assess the digital aspect of studies, I think everything will be easy, even for the students in the lower classes. Yeah.
And also, do you think in our Kenyan community right now, they, especially in our school system, do you think that they have embraced technology as a form of learning source?
I can say 25%.
Quite a little right now. Yeah.
Because looking around, as I said, I'm a youth leader, right? So I go around checking the statistics and how students are doing. And right now, no one, out of the 5 schools I know, none of them are engaging in the online classes. And you see, they're still lacking behind. While the private and the other sectors, they're trying to engage the students, they're trying to teach the students. So if we could focus on that, I think the main focus here is the county government to engage enrollment that a group which will be going school after school, teaching about the online classes and all that. In the future, you'll have a very easier time even to communicate with the students if they're in vacations.
That's right.
And avoid miscommunication.
That's true, that's true. And do you think, speaking of county government, let's say also the national government per se, because we're talking generally to the youths of all areas. Do you think there are some of the measures that they have put out there as at least to assist the student or even the youth out there? There are people who have qualified from their high school, but maybe because of lack of school fees and everything, for example, for instance, the HELB thing. Do you think the government is offering enough for the students to pursue their courses?
Before the corona hit, I would have said it was helping. But right now, honestly, a lot of youth out there, they're suffering. A lot of funds, they're not reaching to them. We can say the bursaries, we're seeing it helping our parents, our communities, our friends. But if you're talking about the university and all that, a lot of kids aren't being helped. The government isn't stretching enough. If it only was able to come in the community and take the statistics, then it would have been very easier to reach a lot of people and mass.
So like also talking about students not being able to access the money or the fund given by the government, does that even make some of them maybe to refuse to continue with their studies or even like decide to venture into businesses rather than continue with being
Yes. I think it increases the probability of that happening. Because let's look at this situation. The first time, as in, I'm in high school, right? I'm going for a bursary. And something happens. I'm told, no, yours doesn't proceed. Then we try, me and my friends, we arambe kidogo, guys get some cash. I go to school the first semester, right? The second one, I go back to the bursary and it fails. But then I can't go back to my friends. And tell
because
them
you already did it, at first,
So if you don't have somebody to motivate you, somebody to tell you that have faith or do something like that, a lot of people just drop out, and you find them in the streets forming the groups and trying to hustle. But we all know that the hustle isn't hustle, right?
True. And you say that you're a youth leader. So outside here in our community or in our society, what do you think the rate is? Maybe let's say according to you personally, do you think more youths are now engaging themselves in educational, careers and or educational, planning to pursue a certain professional career? Are they a lot or they're just minimum right now?
I think people should know that everybody has a dream. And people have different dreams. I can be sitting here with you, but my dream is to be a pilot. Just because I can't get to it doesn't mean I'm not supposed to dream. And as long as you have the dream, there's always somebody out there watching. So a lot of kids that are going for their dream. And if they find the right person to support them, I believe a lot of them become professionals, teachers, police, and all that.
And also speaking of which, also, do you think that our educational system is really functional right now, especially, let's say, for example, There are some of the courses that people have been given currently, but then you find that after completing the 4-year course, or even maybe the 2 years or the 3 years, whether it's a certificate, diploma, or a degree, bachelor's, you find that majority of the time, whenever someone has even graduated, when they go outside there are no jobs. Do you think that the educational system has failed on that?
In this specific situation, I can use myself as an example. I cleared high school in 2010, and I went to Nairobi, did my engineering in aeronautical. And after doing all that, I couldn't manage to secure even an internship. So the only internship I attained after 3 years in university, I had to do it only for 7 months maximum. You can tell I spent 3 years, but in the career I spent only 7 months.
Exactly. So who do you think is to blame? Is it our education system, the government, or the society in general?
The education system is to be blamed in the aspect of, as much as they're trying to make people graduate, they should try to make people be ready for what's out there.
Exactly.
Mentally, financially. They shouldn't allow students to go out there blindly. That's what I can say.
True. I think also there's a time whereby you find someone has graduated, has gone outside there, has looked for a job, it has been impossible to find one, and then someone gets even into depression, right? So that also causes mental illness after.
Having been there personally, I can 100% say that that's true, and that's what happens. I had to come back. I used to stay in Nairobi. I used to work in Nairobi. I had to come back to Mombasa to find the peace. And I'm very thankful when I came here. That's when I started to find my way back to the system. And I'm trying to make a lot of youth don't go through what I went through.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And so now let us discuss on an issue concerning peer pressure. Peer pressure, especially in our education system, regardless of whether it's a technical institution, a university, or a college institution. So peer pressure, a lot of times we find that most of the youth, whenever they go to school, they engage themselves maybe in some vices that maybe they did not before do, like maybe it's drugs and alcohol and maybe many other things. What do you have to tell us about?
Talking about peer pressure. It's
and drugs also.
A lot of youth have missed guidance from their parents. And as much as we blame the government, we blame the system, we should be able to take blame as the community.
Exactly.
That we are failing in our part. It's a lot of things going outside there, and unfortunately most parents know what their kids do. But then again, what do they say? I can't do anything. The moment you say that, and the kid knows he has anywhere to run to, then trust me, he'll never go back home. He will never be the same.
So is that, will that be the problem? Will it be caused by the parent, or it will be as the individual, the youth himself or herself?
Everybody has choices, and that's what everybody should know. Everybody has choices, and most youth think that finding the drug choices is a right choice. But it's not. We all know it's not.
Definitely.
And most of them end up perishing.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's sadly because a lot of these people who I even work with, most of them have the leadership capability.
Yeah.
But until I show them that you can do something, it's very hard for them to admit to it.
Yeah.
And the system too. You can. During the past, we used to have like workshops.
Yeah.
People used to come to our schools, talk about but they've neglected that thing.
Yeah.
Lately, they don't have the events. We used to be very active, excited because those guys are coming on Friday, so we know on Friday don't have class. But eventually we end up planning. But these days they don't do that. They don't try to engage students. They just leave students on their own. The moment you leave students on their own and give them freedom, it will be hard.
Yeah. So, and also speaking of which, you talked about guidance and counseling. Do you think that our education institution have put enough resources to promote the guidance and counseling to both the young man outside there or the young lady outside there?
Yeah, they're doing that, but I think they're doing it the wrong way. Why?
How?
Because right now you can't be going to school every day talking to those kids. Most of the kids, they are digital minded.
Yeah.
If only we could make it in a way that everybody could consume it at their comfortability,
yes,
then it would have been very easy to advise those kids. We can't use our old ways to try and guide the new kids. As in, the mentality is different, and even the media personality, as in the media, you see a lot of advertisement, animation. During the television programs, it's animation which captures the kids' attention.
Yeah, true.
So if you try the new tricks, as in she'll apply new tricks to teach a new.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and also, how is leadership in this university institution? How is the process over there?
It's plain. That's the word I can use. It's plain, because leadership, these days it's not about leading people. It's not about showing example. It's about what I have. It's about what I can provide. If only we could, using the mentality of showing people what you can give to you, as in how you can get it, not how I can give, not giving you every day. It's how you can get it. It will have been better. We don't, as in, we try and engage them. The students we try and engage them only when we need them. But when they need us.
And is there misuse? Do they misuse the power whenever?
They misuse the power. They misuse the funds. The funds are supposed to go to the students. They end up in their pockets, and that's why you see them leading somebody. Somebody has been the president of an university for 6 years, and maybe was doing a 4-year course. It's the same thing, greed and.
True. And do you think there's any sort of corruption that gets in the way for someone to get maybe elected for a certain position at our institutions?
As in, everybody looks up to somebody, and unfortunately our school leaders, they look up to our politicians.
Definitely.
So it's a sad situation, but it's true. That's what's happening right now. People go campaign, they don't sell their they just go, they bribe their way through it. And that's how wakiwa hapo, they don't know what to deal with. They don't know how to start, because they couldn't hear from people. They just wanted to buy them out. And once you can buy somebody out, then it's sad.
Definitely.
Because you won't take care of their needs. You'll be like, I paid you guys. So even youth and the students should avoid being used. Especially in universities.
Definitely. So right now we want to take a small commercial break, and up next, on the other end actually of the segment, we are going to bring our next guest, who is already in our studios, and we are going to discuss more pertaining youth and education right here on Boss TV. Don't go too far.
Boss TV, where inspiration strikes.